Hi everyone, welcome to North Community House podcast series focusing on Filipino families and community. North Community House, niche for short, is committed to building strong, vibrant communities, serving over 20,000 residents in Northwest Toronto every year. We help transform lives by working with people, understanding their needs, and supporting them in achieving their goals. We are supporting youths, parents, and seniors in becoming active, engaged citizens and creating opportunities for residents to improve their lives and lead positive change in their neighborhoods. With your host for this episode, my name is Maria Baranya, and with me is Maria Espina. Maria?
Hi, I'm Maria Espina, a youth worker from North York Community House. And as a youth worker, I run in-class and after-school workshops for newcomer students, and that helps them develop their communication, teamwork, and leadership skills. I also create and connect with volunteer opportunities to promote their community engagement, to practice their English, and to give them the confidence to interact with other people. Welcome to this week's episode featuring an interview with a Filipino mom and youth sharing their experiences about what it's like to have their family together in Canada after years of separation and waiting. Our goal for this podcast is to provide an informative discussion to our listeners, hoping that we can learn from those experiences and create space where we can support each other. Due to the sensitivity of our topic, we keep all personal information confidential.
So in today's episode, we have Ella Tan, who is one of our settlement workers at Niche. So Ella, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do?
Hi Maria. So my role as a settlement worker is to provide information and referrals to newcomers. So when I say newcomers, it could mean permanent resident, convention refugees, or live-in caregivers. We help them access services such as applying for child tax benefit, health cards, and in the event that the child or parent will be needing counseling services, that's when we provide referrals to necessary agency that can provide them with these appropriate services. So these services can be in the form of one-on-one session or in groups.
Thank you for sharing, Ella. Do you mind telling us some of your experiences working with moms and Filipino families?
Yeah, so Maria, I've worked closely with Filipino parents and particularly mothers, and one of the many challenges that they face is the building relationship of their kids. So one of the mother that I talked to, her name is Lenny. This is not her real name, of course. I would invite you to listen to her, to what she has to say.
Yung panganay ko, ganun din. Iniwan ko siya nung 1.5-year-old. So, for the next, I hope na maalagaan din nila yung bunso. Pero ang nangyari parang naging yung bunso, yung ibang pagkaunawan niya sa pag-iwan ko sa kanya. Kaya ngayon, alam mo, lagi akong sinisisi na kumbaga, hindi mo ako, parang you did not care for me well when I was small. Yeah, hanggang ngayon kaya iwan ko kung paano kong sabihin sa kanya na alam mo kung ano ang reason kung bakit ako umalis. At saka at least ngayon makita sana nila na at least yun ang resulta, diba? Andito sila. Hindi naman madali ang pupunta dito. Marami akong sakripisyo na ginawa sa kanila. Alam mo anak, butihan mo sana yung pag-aaral mo. Hindi yung, alam mo ba, ang maging resulta ng ginagawa mo in the future. Do you think na maging successful ka or maganda ba ang buhay mo? Kasi yun nga, nagsisigarilyo sila, nag-iinuman, tapos hindi siya umuwi ng gabi. Ay talagang worry ang, kumbaga, problema ang binibigyan niya sa amin. Pati sa asawa ko. Pati yung anak ko, sabi niya mag-aral, hindi pa naman nagtatrabaho. Saka itong bunso, marami siyang, maganda rin ang pangarap niya, pero paano niya matutupad kung parang nadadala siya sa mga kaibigan niya na laging, hindi siguro yung barkada niya hindi yung mga mababait sana. Para maganda naman ang buhay namin kasi nakikita ko parang walang hindi tahimik. We don't have peace.
Sa bahay ninyo.
Oo. Lalo sa ginagawa nila, pag minsan hindi ako tinutulungan. Ako lahat ang gumagawa ba? Pati yung rent namin, maglaba, magluto. Pero lately, parang nag-isip ako at saka sabi ko I'm not going to laundry their clothes kasi kaya naman nila and then may spoil sila. At saka kung trabaho ko lahat, wala na. Pagod ako sa trabaho, pag-uwi, yun na naman. Tapos sabi nga ng kaibigan ko, ano ka, para kang domestic helper ka na naman dyan. Sabi niya ganun. Which is parang true. And how about them? Even my husband, he does not laundry. Di ba ang buhay dito magtulungan? Lalaki ka man babae, they have to do work. Hindi yung parang sa Pinas siguro ang gusto nila na hindi ka maglalaba, hindi kami pinapakinggan, na wala man lang sometimes even respect, na kahit sabihin namin na umuwi ka tapos sasabihin uwi ako ng alas 6, ay, alam mo hindi na sila uuwi kinabukasan na, hindi man lang sila tatawag na andito ako. Kaya noong una nilang gagawin yan, halos hindi kami makatulog ng asawa ko. Siyempre nag-aalala kung anong mangyari doon. Kaya sabi ko nga, sana man sabihin ninyo kung nasaan kayo.
That was really moving. I don't usually work with parents, so it's rare for me to hear this side of the story. But Ella, can you tell us more about how the mothers feel so we could understand what they're going through?
So, what we're hearing here is a mom who's deeply worried and concerned about her children. So, I can also sense that she felt being blamed for leaving her children behind to go abroad. Guilt, a lot of guilt and worries about their safety and their education as well. So, if you notice, Maria, she made a lot of questions about what's going on with her children and is grappling on how to make this connection with them. So, there's also part of what she said on how she wants her kids to be successful, and that's probably the ultimate goal and one of the motivations of most who wants to go abroad is to give their children good education to be successful. But it seems now that these dreams seems to vanish for Lenny, right? And lastly, I can hear a mom who's longing for peace in her home, and that means simply the absence of emotional strength and hoping for a better relationship with her kids.
So, Ella, I know there are plenty of listeners that have experienced a similar situation as Lenny, but do you mind explaining to us what exactly is family reunification for those listeners who may not be aware of this?
Yeah, so yes, Maria, family reunification is a program that allows the rest of the family members who were left behind to migrate to Canada to join one or more family members who have been working or studying here in Canada as at a certain period of time. So parang katulad din ng mga kasama nating nasa live-in caregiver program, after 2 years dun sa work permit nila, they can already apply for permanent residence together with their family members para pumunta dito sa Canada.
So, Eunice, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also went through family reunification, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us about your own experience?
So personal experiences, my mom left me and it really created a barrier in our family kasi even if she constantly calls, parang I don't know her kasi hindi ko naman siya nakakasama.
Knowing and understanding about why she left are obviously two very different things. So, as a child, how much did you really understand?
I mean, I knew she had to leave, but I was only 3 years old, so a 3-year-old can only understand so much. So yes, I knew she had to leave, but it's hard to understand and adapt to not having my mom around. Pero now I understand naman.
Can I say something about that? Kasi kagaya din nung naranasan ni Lenny nung sinabi niya na, okay, umalis ako na alam naman ng mga anak ko na umalis ako. Pero merong kaibahan dun sa alam ng mga anak niya or naintindihan ba ng mga anak niya kung bakit siya umalis, right, Maria?
Yes, I think a lot of the kids have been telling me hindi talaga nila alam kung bakit, and some of them are questioning the decision kasi nga hindi na-explain sa kanila ng mabuti kung bakit kailangan umalis ng parents nila.
Yeah.
I mean, like, personally, I think mothers need to find a way to reduce the pressure they implicate on their children. Kasi a child can only understand so much. We aren't able to fully comprehend and adapt to the environment quickly when they leave.
So I see where you're coming from, Maria, but as a parent myself and working with other parents, I don't think that there's anyone to blame here. It is just that they're in a situation where there's very limited option, and that one of that option is to go abroad to provide for their children. and including their extended families. So, one thing that we can learn in this experience and maybe in the future is to become more proactive in the decision making that will have an impact to the lives of our children. So, that means that if a parent as a parent, we are accountable to explain to our children and find ways based on their level of understanding why we made that decision for the family, and that we should be, it should not be a one time conversation, but an ongoing conversation with the family, even if they're away. So, kailangan lang talagang ipaintindi sa mga bata, lalong-lalo na pag wala tayo doon sa kanila.
I agree. Children should be involved and have rights when it comes to decision making because it impacts the children as much as it does to the parents.
Wow, ang dami na nating napag-usapan, no? So, siguro patuloy natin itong pag-usapan natin sa susunod, lalo na yung mga sinasabi ni Lenny dun sa naranasan niya bilang ina na nandito sa Canada.
Alrighty, we have reached the end of our first episode, but first we would like to thank Lenny for being comfortable enough to share experience. We can further discuss some of the things she talked about in our next episode, which is Mom, Let's Talk. Again, this is Maria Eunice alongside Maria Espina, as well as thank you to Ella Tan for being with us today. If you have any settlement needs, you can contact her at 416-636-2600, extension 4228. All of our programs and services are funded by Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada. Therefore, all services are free. For comments and suggestions about this podcast, please go to our website, www.niche.ca. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Mom, let's talk. See you on our next episode.